Hi, today we're looking at the first solo in Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. So it's Mark Knopfler's guitar playing, it's his song as well. We're in the key of D minor, so bear in mind that there's a D minor scale here, D natural minor, pentatonic minor as well, and that's where he's basing himself for most of the solo. Now, a very important thing about Mark Knopfler's playing is that he plays around the chord shapes a lot. And so he's basing himself in a scale the same way that every other guitarist does, but he'll be paying attention to what chords are being played underneath the solo all the way through. So he's always very aware of what chord he's playing over. So anyway, to begin with, we start off with a bend on the third string. This is the bend that's in most solos that you'll ever learn. Third string, 12th fret, and we bend up a tone. So you're trying to make the 12 sound like a 14. And initially that's just held, and then you play it 3 more times, and on the third one there's a release where you hear the note come down. And the next phrase is first finger on the third string here at the 10th. We play that note and hammer on and pull off to the 12 here. Now I'm using my fingers. You could do this with a pick. If you want to get more of a Mark Knopfler sound, then you need to use your fingers ideally so you get that twang. So we've got, and then we just move back 1 fret to the 9, play that note and hammer on and pull off again to the 10. So that's, now at this point, the chord that is underneath that note is an A, and without boring you too much with talking about chords, but the A chord is not really quite in key. There's a note in there that's not in a natural minor scale. So it's a good time in a solo to then play some notes from the chord rather than just sticking to the scale. And that's what he does. So it's an A major chord. And there's a version of that chord like that. C-shaped bar chord. So this is an A chord. And he literally just plays up the notes of the chord. So it's just ended here. Flatten that finger down, but keep it where it is. Add those and go. And he plays it, this right hand technique is something we'll have to look at separately, but he plays it in such a way that those notes are very kind of squeezed, almost like that. But for now, just play them however you like. And then we come back into the scale position, 12th fret on the first string, and it's a semitone bend, so it's only to sound like a 13, and it's a bend and release. So just to recap, get the chord shape. And then at this point in the song there's a D minor chord. So even though he's in the D minor scale position, he still just plays an arpeggio with the chord. It goes descending down a D minor arpeggio, which is this. That's a small version of a D minor chord there. So after the bend and release, down the D minor arpeggio. Next phrase, still in this position, we want on the second string, we want to play a 10 and then a 13, but rather than do this, use your third finger for that note. And what happens there is you're actually shifting position. because then we want to play an 11, hammer on and pull off with 13. So that's, and then we play a 9 to a 10, like that. So it's next phrase, shift back into position, 10th position, an 11, and then we play the 9, hammer on to 10, and pick the 10 once more. So that little section is. So the next one, this is a bit of a country phrase. Again, I know I keep talking about the way he plays over chords, but he does it again here in a really sort of clear way. There's an F chord next. And a sort of quite a cool kind of country guitar lick is to do this. Get sort of like a pedal steel effect. And when I do that there, I'm playing 2 notes from the top of an F. You can imagine an F bar chord right up here. The highest 3 notes of those. I'm playing those 2. And I'm bending this so that it sounds like this note which was in the chord. So it's in effect that. And what Mark Knopfler does here is he uses that shape but plays the notes separately. So we do the bend, have this finger there ready, pressed on those 2 strings, bend this one up, play the 2nd string, do the bend again, so you've got that shape. And then, whilst that's being held, play 1, 2, 3, and let the bend down. So it's a little bit awkward this bit. Okay, next phrase is over a C chord. Imagine that up an octave there. So it's like actually like a D shape. He uses the notes from this. So he goes. That's playing around with this shape because he knows that's what the chord is. So we slide into the 13, 12, 2nd string 13, 3rd string 12. Doesn't really matter too much which fingers you use for that part. And then the next phrase, back into position, 10th on the 2nd string, and then 12th on the 3rd. And then this 13 on the 2nd string, which is a C, play that 3 times. So I'll put that together with the first part. And then we need to change position again. So we're playing the 13 but with 3rd finger. And it's a bend. And then another bend which is also a release. So the second one we heard it come down. Then 11, and then just play that bend twice. Bit of vibrato on there as well when he plays that. And then a really nice phrase here, back in position, sort of a bluesy phrase. We play 1st finger on the 2nd string at the 10, flatten that down, and then play the 13 here and pull off to the 10 there. So And then we play second string 10, first string 10. Like that. And then we do a bend, 13th fret, second string. So it's a tone or 2 fret bend. So we've just done this. Play the first string 10th fret, second string 10th fret, but this note that I'm just playing now, it doesn't really catch that properly. It's sort of a muted note, like this. And then there's a pull off from third string 12 to 10. So that whole little phrase is. Then there's a big jump down to the next chord, which is the B flat. There's a B flat chord here. So he plays these notes from the B flat chord, like this. And then adds this note, which is also from a B flat chord. And then back to second string, third fret. So after the bit of a jump down to that to get it in time. And the next chord is a C, so he just does a similar thing that he did for the B flat but moves along to. Rake across these 3 strings, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Add this finger here, it's a 6, slide to 8. And then we play the 6 again. And then 5, hammer on to 6, slide to 8. So from the B flat. And then we do the B flat phrase again, exactly the same. And then we go back to C again. And I'm calling this C because it's part of that C bar chord. And he plays 2 notes very faint, you can barely hear these, which is 3rd and 2nd strings. So if you want to be absolutely exact with this, then you put those in, but most of the time you probably could miss those out. And then we play 4th string and 3rd string. Add this finger onto the 7th fret, 3rd string. Take it off again, play the 3rd string. So it's 5, 5, 7, 5. Bend the 7 here. Add the 8th fret on the 2nd string here with the bend held. Then play this string again, let it come down. So it's then 5, 3rd string. 2 7s on the 3rd string. So that phrase was. And then the sort of lead guitar kind of joins in with the rhythm guitar at this point. The rhythm guitar is going. And he does something similar on the lead, but just sort of small chord shapes. This is the middle part of D minor. 7, 7, 6. And this, as I've mentioned, is part of a C chord, and that's part of a B flat chord. And so what I want to do is hold the D minor part there, put the C notes in place, and play these 3 strings, but pull off so that you hear the C afterwards. Like that. Might take a bit of practice. Then we move down to the B flat position, play the same 3 strings, and then you repeat that, the thing that we did here, but just play this twice before pulling off. And then rather than going down to B flat, we just play the C again. So it's. And then he moves up to another D minor, which is here, and a C, which is there, but plays small versions of them. So he goes, which is sliding up on the 4th string. We're at 5th position, so it'll be a 7 up to the 12 and form the chord, hit the chord, back down to, that would be a C minor. We want it to be major, so we add that one on. And the way he plays this, it's less clinical than the way I'm explaining it. He's just kind of strumming it, like, you know, doing that percussive thing here. And so with that first part, it's and then repeat the little phrase down here. And this time, instead of going up to the D minor and the C here, it just does a really nice little phrase to end the solo, which is 3rd finger, 5th string, 5th fret, slide to 7. And then 1st finger on the 5th fret, 4th string, hammer on to 7. And then last note, 3rd string, 5th fret. So last phrases. Okay, so here's the whole thing, and hope you get on well with that. Any questions, please put them below. I'll do another video for the 2nd solo as well. And if you like this one, then please subscribe. Thanks.